This is the Show Up Show, helping coaches, service providers, leaders, and entrepreneurs to master showing up to build their brand, authority, and grow their business. Whether it's showing up on social media, in front of an audience, on a live interview, or an actual stage, this podcast is going to help you overcome visibility fear to confidently brand yourself as the authority in your industry. I'm Joanne Chan, aka the Confidence and Visibility Queen, and I am on a mission to share how I went from a nobody to the confident leader I am today, what I have learned and what I have done to build my brand and business from scratch, and help you do the same so that you can make an impact in the world with the meaningful work that you do. Whether you are new to the business world or feeling unsure about public visibility, or you want to be seen and heard in a way that doesn't feel icky but authentic to you, you will discover how to become visible in your own unique way and show up as the confident entrepreneur you have always dreamed about becoming. Now, it's time to get you show up and be confidently visible so you can easily attract more clients and opportunities for yourself. Joining us today is a human design visibility coach who is passionate about helping visionary leaders activate their unique human design and grow their conscious business empire without the hustle. With over 28 years of experience coaching and developing leaders at the upper level, she draws from her own journey and developed the Illuminate method that offers insights into the most effective leadership style, how to cultivate meaningful relationships across business and the environments that make each client thrive. She guides her clients towards becoming more confidently expressed and attracting incredible opportunities into their life and businesses by creating a foundation of success, ease, and inner fulfillment. So guys, help me in welcoming the visibility goddess, Abigail Rebecca. Hi, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me.
It's my pleasure to have you on the show to be the first visibility expert, human design expert to talk about human design, one of the topics that I am really passionate and curious about. So for people who do not know about human design, or if this is the first time they are hearing it, because the first time that I heard about human design, it was like 1.5 years ago. So that was not too long ago. So I don't assume everyone knows about what we are talking about. So can you first and foremost explain to us what is human design?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to. And I think more and more people are starting to learn more about it, but it's still not in the mainstream. It's not like astrology, for example, but I think it will be. It's growing massively. So best way to describe human design is it's like a personality test, but it's based on your astrology chart. So it's based on your time of birth, your place of birth, your date of birth, and it basically gives you a blueprint of your aura. It shows you how your energy is shared with other people, so how other people receive your energy, how you receive their energy. It shows you your best way of working, how to build effective relationships, how to create success and wealth within your life, whatever success looks like. And the reason that I love it so much, and I'm sure that you're really passionate about it as well, is that it really, really helps us with our visibility, because it shows us how to be visible in our unique way. I feel like, there's a lot of noise out there, in terms of, you need to do this to market yourself. You need to do this to be more confident. You need to do this to be more visible. But actually very often we're trying to be someone that we're not. So what human design does is it stops us comparing ourselves to other people. It shows us that we are completely unique. And then it gives us a strategy on how to be visible, aligned to our own energy, so that we're not hustling, we're not burning ourselves out, we're completely aligned and authentic. And ultimately, it brings us back to deep self-love.
I love that. I love the explanations. So what inspired you to become a human design visibility expert, and how did you even get into this field, and how did you get started with this work?
Yeah, so I guess I've got quite a unique story and journey. So I was raised as a third generation Jehovah's Witness. So I was brought up in a religion that was very patriarchal, very controlling. I decided to leave home when I was 16. Because I wanted to have my own unique expression and voice. And I traveled the world. And then I came back. I traveled the world for about 10 years. I came back. I set up, I had a corporate career. I was very successful within that career, but I completely burnt myself out. I wasn't happy in that career. I felt it's the only way that I could make money and I could create success within my life. I'm sure it's a story that resonates with many, many women. So I developed quite a serious heart condition that actually allowed me to stop and really reevaluate my life and look at what was important for me and what did I really want to do. And I'd always wanted to start my own business, and I didn't quite know how to do it, but I took a leap of faith and I left corporate and started my own business. And I found it incredibly hard in the beginning. I was really struggling to find clients. I was working a lot of hours. I felt really stuck. So I hired a coach. I sold my car, my beloved car, to pay for coaching. And I hired a coach, and that kind of led me from one thing to another. And on that journey, I discovered many different things. I discovered EFT, emotional freedom technique, which is otherwise known as tapping. I discovered Kundalini yoga. I trained to be a personal stylist at London College of Fashion. And then I discovered human design. And I realized when I discovered human design, so I discovered human design about 5 years ago. I left corporate about 7 years ago. And when I discovered human design, I realized that all through my life, I'd really played this comparison game. I'd been comparing myself to other people, and I wanted to be like them. And I felt like I had to be like them. And that's one of the reasons that I was burning myself out, because I'm not designed I'm not designed to work hard. I'm a projector in human design, so I'm designed to kind of not really work long hours and kind of just work in spurts and rest a lot and be a guide. And as soon as I realized that, it was like the biggest relief. And I realized that I could actually grow my business on my own terms. And it had such an impact on my life. I started to incorporate it into working with my clients. They loved it. I was seeing transformation before my very eyes, working with them. And I thought, right, okay, I really want to create this as like the cornerstone of my business, really. So now, whether I'm doing a retreat or whether I'm doing a workshop or whether I'm consulting with an organization or working with a one-on-one client, the first thing that we do is human design. The very first thing. So human design is the foundation, and then everything else comes from that. So that's how I got into it, and I'm so thankful that I found it.
This is beautiful. And I especially love something that you just talk about is, you mentioned that you are not designed to work hard. And it makes me think about the hustle culture that we all been brainwashed for so long. And so my question is, how do we start to shift our mindset and approach to success in the modern business world, and away from the hustle culture that is quite toxic in a way, and towards a more ease and joyful, and balanced approach with or without human design, even if you don't know about your human design, but you shouldn't hustle, and that is not the only way to success, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm so glad that you talked about that, because that's also, I think that's something that we've got so much in common about, and I could probably talk to you about it for hours. The hustle culture. I'm totally anti-hustle, and here's the reason why. We are brought up with a very strong mindset and belief still, even today, that we have to work hard to make money, that we have to hustle, we have to go out there and make things happen. We have to initiate, we need to chase the sale, hustle, hustle, hustle. And I don't know about you, but definitely, a lot of the coaches, like in the personal development industry and the coaching industry, really teach that. They still teach that, with the best intentions. And I find like a lot of the coaches that teach that, they probably are designed to hustle. 9% of the population are manifestors in human design. And a manifestor is someone who is designed to initiate. So they're designed to act first, to self-initiate. The rest of the population, we're not designed to do that. We're designed to wait for something or someone. But we're conditioned to chase and to make it happen. And then when we do that and we get burnt out, or we're tired, or things don't work out for us, we then beat ourselves up because we feel that we're doing something wrong. We're not actually doing something wrong, but what we're doing is we're not working in alignment with our energies. So you can go out and you can find a solution for yourself in terms of, working in a more aligned and free-flowing way, and really caring for yourself and nurturing you for yourself as you are creating success in your life, whatever that success looks like. But it's a lot simpler and a lot easier if you actually find out what your human design is, because your human design actually tells you in very plain and certain terms how your energy is designed. So, for example, I mentioned there that I'm a projector. So projectors in human design make up about 20% of the population. We are not designed to work hard. When I realized that, and I actually started to build and design my business around my projector aura, instead of trying to hustle all the time, things started to become so aligned for me. And, I'd always heard people talk about getting into flow and feeling in alignment. And I was like, I don't understand, what is this thing? How am I supposed to build my business when I'm just in flow? Actually, I started to experience it, and I was like, oh, okay, I get it now. I understand it. So, for example, practical implications, when I coach my clients, I don't coach my clients back to back. I'll probably have one client in the morning and one client in the afternoon, and that's it. And the rest of the day I'll rest, or I'll, work on myself. I'll read a book. I've got an incredible team that supports me, that I'm able to do that. But even when I was at the very beginning of my journey, and I do work with a lot of entrepreneurs that are at the very beginning of their journey, you can still find ways to kind of work within that energy. You shared with me before we actually went live that you're a manifesting generator. Now, manifesting generators are incredible, like your powerhouses. You're designed to, you've got this sacral energy. You can work and work and work, but you can still burn yourself out. Yes. And there's two reasons that manifesting generators can burn themselves out. The first reason is that you don't ask for help, because you're perfectly capable and competent and confident to do everything yourself. Yeah. You can do everything. But that doesn't mean that your body can do everything, right? That doesn't mean that your mind can do everything. You can still completely burn out your energy. And secondly, if you're not doing work that lights you up, that can also burn you out, because you can work, but if it's uninspiring work, you can feel burnt out. So I would say, to answer your question, I would recommend that you look at your human design, because it's free. So you can look and it takes 2 seconds. So you can look at your human design. You can either go to my website, abigailrebecca.com, to look at your human design chart for free, or there's lots of different websites out there that you can look at your human design for free. And then the second thing is that, really start to listen to your body and get in tune with your body. What does your body need? Does your body need rest? Does your body need to be still? Does your body need to be around other people? Does your body need to be in nature? And that's another thing that I love about human design, because it teaches us to drop out of our heads and into our body. And it teaches us to listen to the wisdom of our body instead of listening to our heads, which our heads really aren't designed to make decisions. It's our bodies that are the decision makers. So that's another thing that I love about human design.
No, I want to talk about human design and visibility, because that is what you do as well. So how do you then incorporate human design into helping your clients to become more visible in their own unique way, instead of They were mentioned earlier, seeing what other people are doing on social media, and they try to copy their strategy or compare themselves. So how do we then use our own human design to become more visible?
Yeah, human design is such an effective visibility tool because it shows us how our energy is received. That is like, visibility is about going out there and being seen. It's about being heard, whether your definition of being visible is speaking on a stage with thousands of people, or whether your definition of being visible is walking into a room and feeling confident walking into a room full of strangers, or pushing the go live button on a Facebook Live, or being interviewed on a podcast like this, right? We all have different reasons why we want to be visible, and also different ways of being visible. What human design does is it really teaches us how to be visible in our own unique way. So you've already mentioned there's a real cookie cutter, one size fits all approach to being visible, i.e., I've created success within my business because I've been visible in this way, so I'm now going to teach you how to do that. Well, what might work for me will not work for you. And definitely, we've already established that I'm a projector in human design, you're a manifesting generator in human design. The way that I am visible will be very effectively visible, would be very different to how you're effectively visible. If I tried to be visible like you, my energy actually would repel people, and vice versa. So there are 5 different energy types within human design. There's manifesting generators and generators, which are normally kind of at this level are kind of grouped into one type. But actually, as you go down the rabbit hole of human design, you are very, very different. But in terms of your strategy, it's the same. There's projectors that make up 20% of the population. There's manifestors that make up 9% of the population. And then there is also a very unique human design like unicorn, which are known as reflectors, and they make up 1% of the population. Each human design strategy or human design type or energy type has a different strategy to being visible at a very top level. Okay, so generators and manifesting generators, you are designed to respond to something or someone. So your energy is not received in the right way when you're going out and you're initiating and making things happen. There is so things like cold reach out, DMing people, it's just not going to work.
Yeah, I hate it.
Yes, exactly, right. Inside you're like, oh, yeah, I don't want to do it. But then maybe someone's going, yeah, but you have to do it. Well, listen to your body, listen to your intuition. You don't want to do it. There's a reason behind that. So it's then like creating a strategy that will work for you, where you can actually respond to something. When you're responding to something, then your energy will be received in a certain way. Projectors, we're going to talk about projectors. Taking it one step further, if you're a projector like me, you're actually designed to be invited. You have to wait to be invited by someone. So definitely cold outreach doesn't work for projectors. So, again, how are you going to be able to create your visibility strategy so that you're actually creating an environment where you're being invited in by someone to work with you or to be on a podcast, etc. So there's a whole strategy around that. Manifestors, as I've said before, the only human design type who are actually designed to initiate. So manifestors can initiate. Manifestors are the ones that can go out and contact people out of the blue and are very often designed to work with strangers. But again, that depends on the other elements of their human design. But they also need to inform before they actually initiate, otherwise people will block them. And then reflectors, are like, there's a completely different strategy for reflectors that really kind of like support all of their open channels. But I guess what I'm trying to say is that every single client that I work with will have a different strategy. And it's not just based on their human design type. It's also based on their environments within human design, the environments that light them up, where they're able to create opportunities for themselves. It's also based on their human design profile. So there's different profiles within human design, which are made up with 2 numbers. So we would use that to look at how they can be more visible. So for example, my profile within human design is a 4-6, which means that I get my opportunities through other people, and I'm also a role model. So it's really important for me to build up relationships with other people. I'm not designed to sell to strangers. So if anyone tries to teach me to, you know, go out and talk to strangers, I'm like, well, they're never going to engage with me, because people need to get to know me first before they actually come and work with me. Whereas if you're a line 5 in human design, you are designed to work with strangers, and you are designed to have a big reach. So there's lots and lots of elements within human design that, and when you look at the whole picture, we can then basically build a strategy that is completely built on your human design. It sounds very complicated. It's not. It's really not, but it's like understanding what your unique human design is, and then it can literally be used as a blueprint that you can base. You can like put it on, lay it over your visibility strategy as a blueprint, and it can become very, very easy for you. And I'm all about flow and ease, and I know that you are as well.
Yeah, because I'm so done with hustling, and just the masculine energy. So because I'm an MG and my strategy is to respond, right, as you just said. And my question is, because I know this might be the question that many MG will have, because I'm one of them. So when you mentioned about we'll talk about to respond, right? Our strategy is to respond. So does it mean that we are being passive? We are business owner, right? We are entrepreneurs. We have to still take action. We can't sit here and do nothing all day long, just waiting for things to come and we respond, right? So it's not gonna, I feel like it's not gonna work. So can you talk to me about that? Like, what do you really mean?
I'm so glad that you asked that question, because it's such a manifesting generator question. Like, especially with manifesting generators, like manifesting generators and generators, you have the same strategy, right, to respond to something or someone. But especially manifesting generators, like whenever I speak to a manifesting generator like you, that you're like, yeah, but I need to be going, I can't just sit around.
Yeah,
I need to do things, and yes, you do. 100%. So this isn't about being passive. This isn't about, oh, I'm just going to sit here and wait. Absolutely not. So one of the things that you need to understand as a generator and a manifesting generator, 70% of the population. So I would think that a lot of your audience will either be manifesting generators or generators, especially as you're a manifesting generator as well. You have this beautiful enveloping aura that basically pulls life and opportunities to you. So even if you are just walking down the street,
really,
and it feels like you're doing nothing and you're just walking down the street, this aura will still be working for you. So it will be attracting life and opportunities to you. So one of the things to really understand as a generator and manifesting generator is, yes, your strategy is to wait to respond, but you're not going to be waiting very long.
Okay.
Because there will always be opportunities that will coming into you. That's the first thing. Okay, the second thing is, while you're waiting, and you don't have to wait, go out and do the things that light you up. So waiting does not mean sitting in a chair somewhere in a quiet room. While you're waiting to respond to something, you could be out and about at networking events, or writing a blog, or going out for dinner with your friends, or like whatever it is that lights you up. You go out there and you do it, and the very act of doing things that bring you joy will attract those things into you, because you will be raising your vibration. So all the things like that the universe is going to be sending into you will be sending in. And, you know, one of the things that I do say about generators and manifesting generators, I want you to imagine that you are dancing with the universe. You are a beautiful dance with the universe, but the universe is leading and you're following. So just allow things to come in, where you'll, especially as a manifesting generator, you'll be so conditioned. I've got an idea. I'm going to go out there and make it happen. Right. So you'll have all these ideas that will be coming into your head. Just if you just practice waiting instead of just initiating straight away, just wait, and then just wait to see what shows up. It might be that, you know, someone sends you an invitation to something that is like the perfect opportunity that will really support the idea and will be able to take it forward. Or it might be that you're reading a book and you see you see words in a book that kind of light you up and gives you a sign to say, yes, go for it. But what you're doing is you're responding to something. So you're still initiating, but you're not self-initiating, you're initiating in response. Now, what will happen is, if you were to initiate, it would still probably happen, but it would be quite difficult. It would feel like a bit like a chore and there'll be roadblocks. If you wait to respond to something, there'll be more flow. Doors will open with ease. You'll have more opportunities and the outcome will be more prosperous and abundant for you. One of the Ra Uruhu, who received the downloads for human design, one of the things that he used to say was, don't believe a word that I say, just go out and experiment and see what shows up for you. And that's one thing that I always say to my clients, don't believe this, like go out and experiment, because when you actually start to experience what is happening, you realize the magic of it. And actually that you can live your life with a lot more ease and flow when you are following your human design strategy. And that strategy with generators and manifesting generators is to wait. Once you've waited, once you've responded, you can just go. You take your manifesting generator energy and you go and you make it happen and you initiate, and you have the full capacity to be able to do that. But just practice waiting.
Yeah, I have to tell you, it's so true, because when I first started my coaching business, it was like 3 years ago, and I have no idea, like all these opportunities just came to me, and I didn't even go out and reach out to people. I just got this invitation to be on podcast, to speak at summit. I was like, this is amazing, you know? And so I just have to tell people who are listening to this or watching this, this is really like, this is my own experience. I experienced it myself before I even know about human design. So right now, I'm still trying to strike a balance between hustling and initiating and waiting and responding. So, you know, we are always learning, right? And because we are both visibility coach, what are the top 3 visibility blocks that you see most with your clients?
Yeah, the top 3. Okay, so I would say the top 3 always fall around mindset, really. So I see a lot of imposter syndrome. Who am I to go out and be an expert in my field? Who am I to, be on a Facebook Live? Who am I to put myself forward to podcasts, etc.? So a lot of imposter syndrome. I also see a lot of fear of rejection. And I definitely suffered this, actually, when I was starting my business. I can really resonate with this. I mentioned about my background and my story. I was raised as a Jehovah's Witness. And from a very early age, as part of, being a Jehovah's Witness, you have to go around and knock on doors and preach the word. And my parents and different family members used to take me, and we used to get doors slammed in our faces a lot, and a lot of abuse shouted at us. And that really stuck with me from when I was a little girl. So one of the things that I really had to overcome when I was growing my business was a real fear of rejection. Very often we're so scared of being rejected, we don't even put ourselves out there. Yeah, so it's like, oh, okay, well, if I go and do this, people are going to say no to me, or they're not going to accept me. So I'm just not going to do it. I'm going to stay here in my comfort zone. But, a big part of being visible is putting ourselves out of our comfort zone and doing things that, might not necessarily feel particularly comfortable for us in the moment, but will really create incredible opportunities for us. And then the third thing that I see a lot with lots of different clients from lots of different cultures and countries and ages and backgrounds is I'm really scared of being judged or criticized or ridiculed. Especially if I'm working with clients that have maybe come from a corporate background. They're not necessarily worried about being judged or criticized by strangers. They're worried about being judged and criticized by people that know them.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, 1 minute I'm this person, and then the next minute, especially if they're really spiritual, 1 minute I'm talking about like spreadsheets and the next minute I'm talking about law of attraction. And, so I see these visibility blocks a lot, and that's my job and my role as a coach and a mentor to actually guide them through that process, to look at, okay, what are the blocks? What's stopping you from going out there and being visible and confidently expressed? Let's see what the stories are that they originate from, and then let's change those stories, because we can't change our past, but we can change our ideas and our stories and our interpretation of the past. And if we can do that, then we can show up in the present in a very different way as a really empowered, confidently expressed woman who's, out there to make things happen and change the world. And if we can present ourselves in the world in that way, visible, then a lot more people will know about us and will be able to hear our message.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And I totally agree. These are the 3 biggest blocks, because these are also the common fears that come out, that show up over and over again with people that I work with. So your first step is to identify your fear. What is really holding you back? What is blocking you? Of course, in your case, the first step is to find out your human design, right? Again, thank you so much for taking your time out today. I enjoyed today's episode, and I'm learning so much about myself as well. And thank you so much for sharing so abundantly with us today. Tell my listeners where they can find you online.
Yeah, so the best place to find me is abigailrebecca.com. That's my website. You can download your human design for free. You can book a human design strategy call with me. There's also a free book on there that you can download. So there's lots of different ways that you can connect with me and follow me on social media through my website.
All right, guys, I hope you loved and enjoyed today's episode. If you have any questions about human design, about visibility, you can send us a message or leave a comment below and we will get back to you. And make sure you visit the show note below and find all the resources that we have for you today, including Abigail, her website, her guide, and where you can find out your human design chart, right, for free. And to connect with me and learn more about what I do, follow me on Instagram at Joanne Chan Coaching, and remember to hit the subscribe button so you never miss another juicy episode. And thanks for tuning in today. Until next time, keep showing up. Success doesn't show up for you until you show up and pursue your own success. Thank you for listening to the Show Up Show with me, Joanne Chan. If you want to create more confidence, visibility, and authority in your business, send me a message on Instagram at Joanne Chan Coaching. DM me the word show up, and I will send you my free signature training, Visibility Creates Possibilities, that you can watch right away to start exploding your visibility today.